If you've been trying to master Affinity Photo, but you still can't get the results you want, you're not alone. Lots of photographers find it too complicated. The good news is you can achieve professional quality results more quickly and easily by adding the Nik Collection. Hi, I'm Robin Worley. I've written more than 35 books on photo editing, and I teach photographers how to turn ordinary images into extraordinary ones. In this video, I'll show you how adding the Nik Collection to Affinity Photo can simplify your editing, giving you better results faster. It can save you a lot of frustration trying to learn all the intricacies of Affinity Photo tools. Back in 2008, I found myself in a similar position, struggling to achieve the results I wanted using Photoshop. Not only that, but most of my editing took far too long. That's when I tried a new tool called Nik Viveza, and it completely changed my workflow. If you're struggling to learn Affinity Photo, this could be a solution for you. Let me give you an example using a RAW file which I'll open in the Develop module. To me, the image looks underexposed, so let's increase the exposure and adjust the black point. We can then adjust the shadows which appear too dark, and reduce the highlights which are causing the wave on the beach to appear too bright. What this creates is an image that looks correctly exposed, but it's still not very appealing. Perhaps the problem is that the lighting looks too cool, so let's try increasing the colour temperature to fix that. Another problem we need to fix with this image is that the image is crooked because my tripod sank into the sand. To fix that, I need to use the crop tool and then in the toolbar click Straighten. Now I can click and drag the level tool along the horizon. When I release my mouse button, Affinity rotates the image and I can close the crop tool. Let's say that that's fixed all the technical issues with this image and that we can now take the image into the photo persona. At this point, the image isn't looking very attractive and I'm faced with a problem. Affinity Photo has lots of tools I could apply to this image. At the same time, I'm thinking I don't like the colour and nothing in the image is really standing out to me. If I don't know how to fix these things, I could spend a lot of time experimenting to try to find what works. This is why I think a lot of new Affinity Photo users struggle and should seriously consider adding a tool like the Nik Collection. Let me show you the difference it can make to this image. The first thing that I'm going to do is to create a new duplicate layer. This is important because when we're using the Nik Collection in Affinity Photo, any adjustments become part of the layer we apply them to. By applying my edits to a new layer, if I need to start again, I can just copy the original background layer. Now I can launch Nik Viveza from the Nik Collection in the Filter menu. Of course, there are other plugins in the Nik Collection that you could use for editing, depending on what you want to achieve. Once we're in Nik Viveza, we can see the image preview in the centre. On the left we have presets that we can apply to the image, and on the right side are the editing tools. Let's start by looking at the thumbnails for the presets. But we aren't looking for a single preset that makes the image look good. What we want are ideas for improving the current image. We're then going to learn from the adjustments the preset applies. This is one way to use the Nik Collection if you aren't sure what to do first. Two presets that look interesting here are the Adjust Sky and Adjust Foreground. Watch what happens when I click the Adjust Sky preset to apply it. A control line is added to the image and the sky now looks much better. I like this result, so let's have a look at what adjustments have been used. Because the adjustment has been applied to only the sky, we know that this preset uses a local adjustment. If we check that section, we can see the control line adding saturation, contrast, structure and blue. Those simple changes have made the sky look much better, and they may improve the rest of the image if we apply them globally. Now, let's check the other preset to adjust the foreground. When I click that, it replaces the sky adjustment with a control line on the foreground. As it's only affecting the very bottom of the image, let's drag the control line up with our mouse. This again produces a big improvement in the image, although the wave on the beach now looks a little bit too bright. As before, If we check the adjustments on the right of the interface, we can see the brightness, contrast and structure have all been increased. In both presets, it was the addition of the contrast and structure that seemed to improve the image the most. Let's reset the image now by clicking the neutral preset, and we can try applying some adjustments globally. Let's start by adding a small amount of brightness. Then increase the contrast, and we'll add in some structure. These simple changes make a big improvement to the image, but it still doesn't look colourful enough. So, to fix that, let's increase the saturation as well, because we saw how it improved the sky when we applied the preset. The other improvement that the preset made to the sky was to increase the blue slider, so let's try that next. That seems to work as well when we apply it to the entire image. With these simple changes, this image is now a lot more appealing. If we go to the split screen mode, you can see just how much of an improvement it's created. Now, although we started by checking the presets, we didn't really need to. All we needed to do was work our way down the global adjustment controls. That allows us to see how the image responds and decide if the adjustment improves it or not. This avoids needing to remember how to achieve a certain look, like we would have to do if we were working in Affinity Photo. This is one of the biggest reasons why I started using the Nik Collection, and I've stuck with it since 2008. It lets me work intuitively, so I can decide if an adjustment improves an image or makes it look worse. It's as simple as that. Now, let's apply these adjustments because there is a limitation you need to know about before we go any further. As I mentioned earlier, when we return to the photo persona, Viveza applies our adjustments to the image layer. There's nothing we can do then to change the adjustments that were applied. All we can really do is use the tools in Affinity Photo like the opacity setting and the layer masks to control what's visible in the new layer. This unfortunately is a limitation of how all plugins work in Affinity Photo. It's not just the Nik Collection, so do be aware of this. Let's rename our layer now to be Viveza Global, so we know these are the global adjustments we applied in Nik Viveza. We'll then duplicate this layer by right-clicking it and selecting the duplicate option. We can then rename this new layer to be Viveza Local. Doing this will provide a kind of editing history in case we need to return to a point in the editing workflow. After that, we can launch Nik Viveza again from the filter menu. This time in Viveza, I'm going to apply some local adjustments. As this scene is made up of two areas, the sky and the foreground, we'll use separate selections to adjust both. Starting with the foreground, I'll add a control line to select it. If I turn on the mask view, you can see what's been selected in white. This is what's going to be adjusted. If I move the control line around, you can see that the mask responds by changing the selection. Let's hide the mask view now and apply some adjustments. I'll start by reducing the brightness of the water because I think it's too bright. I'll then add some contrast and structure because I noticed how well this worked when we were looking at the presets earlier. The thing that's great about applying local adjustments in this way is the mask you saw earlier. It continues to respond as I move the control line around, affecting where the adjustments are applied. But the important thing is the adjustments are always blended naturally into the image, so you can't see the editing. Achieving similar results in Affinity Photo is possible, but it requires a lot of skill and time to learn. Let's finish the editing of the water now by brightening the highlights and reducing the shadows. If we check the results of this simple edit, there's already an improvement we can see. Now, let's add a second control line and use it to select the sky. If I turn on the mask view, you can see the sky is selected, but not the castle. I can then add contrast, structure and saturation. And I'll also increase the blue slightly, as we saw with the earlier preset. At this point, the image looks much better, and it's only taken me a couple of minutes. If there's anything that I don't like though, it's the light on the sand and the castle isn't warm enough. So let's fix that next. I'll add a control line to select those areas first. Then I'll check the mask where we can see the selection in white. When I'm happy with that, I can then increase the warmth and the saturation of these areas. and I think I'll also add a bit of contrast as well. Everything is now looking much better, but I think the shadows on the castle are still too dark. This is a problem that's easy to fix in Viveza. We just add a control point to the castle to select it. Let's check the mask view now and move the control point until it selects the darker areas. We can then open the shadows and adjust the blacks. I like this edit, but I want to add some more warmth to the cloud on the right and make the colour more of a feature. Again, I'll add a control point to select it and turn on the mask view to check the selection. I can then add warmth and saturation to improve the colour. Using the compare button now, I like the results, so let's apply that. Now we're back in Affinity Photo, let's hide the first layer we created. We can then turn this latest layer off and on to compare the results with the starting layer. And if we compare this image to the original raw file, we see it's a complete transformation. Remember, all this was achieved using basic adjustments in Viveza, and you can do much more. While I could have achieved the same results using Affinity Photo tools, it would have taken much more time, effort and skill. This is why I recommend that anyone struggling to learn Affinity Photo should consider adding a tool like the Nik Collection. You're going to find it easier to achieve good results with much less frustration. Of course, you can continue to learn Affinity Photo alongside Nik, and if you want to learn how to turn an ordinary image into an extraordinary one in Affinity Photo, see my course. I'll include a link to it in the YouTube video description. Now in this video, I've only used the Nik Viveza plugin. Although this is a great tool, there is another plugin in the Nik Collection that I consider more powerful and essential. To learn about that, watch this video next. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe here and on my website. I'll see you soon for another video.